Belfast, welcome to the programme. We start with what could be a glimmer of light at the end of the COVID tunnel. Europe could see 2 COVID-19 vaccines available by the end of the year. In the past few hours, US drug maker Pfizer and its German partner BioNTech announced they had submitted their vaccine for emergency approval by the European Medicines Agency, a day after drug company Moderna asked for emergency approval of its vaccine in both Europe and the United States.
Finding effective vaccines is a crucial part of tackling the coronavirus pandemic. With Moderna filing for emergency approval of its vaccine on Monday, it could get the green light before Christmas.
Given the FDA has told us that our advisory meeting is likely to be on December 17, it is highly possible that between the 17th and Christmas, the product is approved.
If the US Food and Drug Administration gives the go-ahead, inoculations could start within hours, led by US vaccination logistics chief General Gustav Perner.
We should have up to 20 million doses by the end of the year. So as soon as we get approval, General Perner and his teams are going to get hold of a vaccine we have and start shipping it in the country. His goal is to vaccinate Americans within 24 hours from approval.
The company hopes its latest trial results will lead to speedy approval in other countries too. In trials of the vaccine with more than 30,000 people, only 30 participants became seriously ill. All of them had been given placebo shots. This makes the vaccine 100% effective against severe cases of COVID-19. Reported side effects include pain at the point of injection, chills and fever. These symptoms usually resolve within 1 or 2 days.
On a personal level, when we saw the first interim results, I think we were all really relieved and enthusiastic. I can tell you when I saw the final results last night, they came in a little bit earlier than we had planned for. I allowed myself to cry for the first time.
The company says it will keep monitoring to check for any further side effects.
Well, for more on this, let's bring in Dr. John Campbell. He's an independent health analyst and joins us from Carlisle in the UK. Let's talk timeline here. When do you think both of these vaccines could be realistically granted approval?
Well, it's looking like the FDA in America is probably going to be making an announcement round about the 17th of December. And if that's the case, and if that's positive, then these vaccines are going to be shipped literally within hours, as we've just heard on that report. Now, in terms of the European situation, the European Medicines Agency, typically this can take months or even up to a year to approve a new vaccine. So we really are in unprecedented territory here, and it's going to be remarkably interesting to see what sort of timelines they come up with. But I think we can rest assured that they will be working flat out on this. They'll be doing an awful lot of hard work on the Pfizer and the Moderna. But it's important to remember it's a rolling program. So they have access to much more information than we have. Pfizer and Moderna will be reporting to them on a daily basis with the latest information. They'll have all the latest information at their fingertips. But of course, this is not peer reviewed yet. All we're going on so far are the press releases. So we have the press releases in the public domain, the information that the drug companies are going to be feeding directly to the regulatory authorities, but we don't yet have a peer review. So I suspect the European agency will be reporting on this, I would estimate round about mid to late December. So it is feasible that Europeans could be getting injected, potentially with both of these vaccines, some going to some people, some going to other people. In 2020, that is quite conceivable. The main part of the rollout, though, is going to be in 2021. And this isn't going to make a huge difference to herd immunity and the amount of restrictions that we have to live with realistically until about March, April, May, even summertime.
So March, April, May, John, let me just interrupt you there. So March, April, May, is that sort of the time when we can expect, you and I can expect, to get our shots?
Well, some people will be vaccinated in 2020. Then there'll be first responders, high-risk people, healthcare providers. I would expect them to get vaccinated in January, February time, and that could well be complete by about the end of January. For you and me as ordinary members of the public, it's just a case of how quick this can be rolled out, and the cold chains need to be facilitated. So I would estimate that you and me are probably going to be vaccinated March, April time, something like that. and it's going to make a difference to the way we live by summertime. So by the start of next summer, we're going to have the warmer weather, which is going to help. And then we're going to have a significant number of people vaccinated that's going to start making a big difference to this pandemic. And I'm hoping things are going to be pretty well back to normal by this time next year. That's the anticipation. But there's such large numbers of people involved here. So many people need vaccinated, starting with the essential workers, then the higher risk people, and then the rest of the public. And then herd immunity will progressively develop over 2021 as a result of the vaccination program.
Okay, John, you talked about herd immunity. We had a poll this week in Germany saying that just over half of Germans are actually willing to get this shot. What do you think about, what can you tell these people about the safety of this vaccine?
Well, the reason that the Moderna released their information yesterday was that was 2 months after the last people had had their second dose. So it's reached the 2-month safety requirement. So it's looking at the safe. What these regulators do is they look at the safety, not immediately after the shot, but 2 months after the shot. So they can say it's safe 2 months after the shot. And bear in mind, there's been 30,000 people in this trial and 15,000 have had the vaccine. So even though it's only 196 people have actually had the infection, we've got safety data now from 15,000 people. And of course, that's growing all the time. And this won't, once the vaccine is rolled out, once it is approved, that's not going to stop. There'll be ongoing monitoring of this. Now, of course, we can't say that people won't develop late side effects after 3 months or 4 months or 5 months. But we know from previous vaccination that that's very unlikely. Most of the side effects that are going to develop will be recognizable within that 2 months. So personally, for me and my family, I'd be more than happy to have it once it's been officially recognized. Can we say it's safe? Well, no, we can't say it's safe. Can we say it's overwhelmingly likely to be safe? Yes, I believe we can. There's never guarantees in healthcare. Anything that you give that has a definite effect is going to have a potential side effect. And of course, this is a new technology. These mRNA vaccines, messenger RNA vaccines, have never been used before. It's a brand new technology. But so far, it's looking very clean, it's looking very efficient, and it's looking very safe from all the data that we have. And I feel confident the regulatory authorities will move on this because it's a risk-benefit analysis. We can't go on living as we are now with these repeated waves of coronavirus, with the deaths, with the financial impairment, with the lockdown. You know, the overall risks from the vaccine look like being much less than carrying on living as we are. So I think they're going to go for it.
John, thank you very much. Dr. John Campbell, their health analyst from the United Kingdom. COVID-19